Thanks. The man at the center of Benton Harbor's mayoral recall election appears in court Tuesday as the election has been put on hold. Reverend Edward Pinkney is charged with 11 counts of election fraud. WSBT's Fact Finder Denise Bone did some digging and discovered Pinkney has been in trouble with the law many times before.
Edward Pinkney is no stranger to election fraud claims. In 1997, he served prison time after being convicted of 5 voter fraud charges, including paying people $5 to vote a certain way in a recall election. Well, following his most recent arrest on election fraud charges, WSBT took a closer look into Pinkney's past.
So what we want to do, we want to make sure that we get ourselves prepared to fight, because this thing gonna get ugly.
Edward Pinkney is a self-proclaimed political, social, and civil rights activist in Benton Harbor. His last post on Twitter followed his arrest on 11 new election fraud charges related to a recall effort against Benton Harbor Mayor James Hightower. Pinkney also hosts a radio talk show.
You are listening to the Pinkney Show.
These court documents show Pinkney's legal run-ins began 24 years ago. A Michigan Department of Corrections investigation revealed he used an alias of Paris Warren, as well as multiple Social Security numbers and birth dates. In 1990, Pinkney pled guilty to theft in Missouri and served 1-year probation. That same year, in Oakland, California, he was sentenced to 25 days in jail and 3 years probation for assault with a dangerous weapon. In 1991, in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Pinkney pled guilty to false statement of financial condition. Then, in 1999, in Benton Township, he pleaded guilty to embezzlement and spent 14 months in prison and 2 years on parole. Records show Pinkney worked for Mutual of Omaha Insurance and was accused of taking premiums from customers and not turning them in. He also made himself the beneficiary on some policies. Following his release from prison, Pinkney became an ordained minister, setting up the Black Autonomy Network community organization, which works for economic and social justice in Benton Harbor. Visitors are encouraged to boycott companies like Whirlpool and KitchenAid and donate to Banco's Defense Fund to pay Pinkney's legal fees. Donations are directed to his home, where Pinkney is currently on house arrest. And that's where we caught up with him. Some people actually in town would call you a con man.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you react? And what you use multiple aliases, you use different Social Security numbers. They say there's a conviction for things like that.
That's enough.
Can you answer those questions, sir? Court documents also revealed that in 2007, Pinkney was jailed on a probation violation for writing an article where he called a Berrien County judge a racist and dumb. He also reportedly lied about being born and raised in Benton Harbor, telling cops he grew up in Chicago. And in a pre-sentence investigation, he also told police that he worked at the Kalamazoo post office for 12 years, but police found no record of Pinkney ever working there. Pinkney's Banco group is planning a demonstration against voter suppression in front of Benton Harbor City Hall later this month. Reporting from the control room, Denise Bone, WSBT, Channel 22 News.